Hello everyone, I am Paulavi Banerjee, pursuing BTech in Food Technology in Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, and I am a student of second year. Today I am going to take the session about the topic the charges, and the topics that will be covered in today's session are charges, what is charge, charging by rubbing, types of charges and their interaction and some practical experiments, transfer of charges and some important notes on the basis of today's session. First, the charging by rubbing. In this slide there are some pictures, and I will explain the experiment of the picture. What will indicate in the picture. That if we consider about the picture, a small experiment can be easily explained. That you take a plastic comb and rub it vigorously with your dry hair, and next bring it close to some small pieces of paper, and obviously take care that not to touch the rubbed end of the plastic comb with your hand or with any metallic object, and repeat the activity with and you can repeat the activity with small dry some pieces of leaf, husk, mustard seed, etc. like that. And what you will observe after doing this experiment, that when the plastic comb is rubbed with your dry hair, it acquires a small charge, and these objects are basically called charged objects. And in this process of charging the plastic comb, our hair also get charged, and because of the generation of the charge, the small pieces of paper are attracted by the plastic comb, and the picture like the situation will be happened, and by rubbing the charge has been generated. So this process is called the charging by rubbing. Next, come to the point, the types of charges and their interaction and some practical experiments. There are three pictures are in the slides, and one by one I will describe the each picture and the experiment what are tried to say in the picture. So first of all, if we look into the first picture, as I said, that first experiment, what it trying to say, that if you inflate two balloons, hanging them in such a way that they do not touch each other, like in the first picture. If we take two balloons, inflate two balloons and hang them in such a way like first picture, as they do not touch each other, and secondly, rub both the balloons with a woolen cloth and release them, and what do you observe? Come sometimes later. And now come to the second observation, second experiment, and come to the second picture, that now let us repeat this activity with the used pen refills. Instead of the balloons, now repeat the activity with the used pen refills. Rub one refill with polythene. Place it carefully in a glass tumbler, using the tumbler as a stand, as like in the picture 2. Repeat the same process. Instead of balloon, to use used pen refill, and rub one refill with polythene and place it carefully in a glass tumbler, using the tumbler as a stand, as like in the picture 2. And rub the other refill also with polythene. Then what you will do, that bring it close to the charged refill, but be careful that not to touch the charged end with your hand. And if we bring the other refill to the close to the charged refill, you observe that is there any effect on the refill in the tumbler. So what will you observe, that the two attract each other or refill each other? I will again come to the observation sometimes later. Now come to the third experiment, third picture. What is there that rubber refill and place it gently in a glass tumbler as before. I am saying the picture 2 as like the picture 2. The again the rubber refill and place it gently in a glass tumbler as before, and bring an inflated charged balloon near the refill and observe what will be shown. So now come to the observation, the process. Again I am discussing shortly that first of all we inflate two balloons, hang them in such a way that they do not touch each other, rub both the balloons with a woolen club and release them in the first picture. And second picture, the same process, instead of balloons we used pen refills, rub one refill with polythene and placed it carefully in a glass tumbler, and secondly rub the other refill also with polythene and bring it close to each other, and we will observe what happens. And second and thirdly, in the last picture, what indicates as that we rub a refill again and place it gently in a glass tumbler as before, and we bring an inflated charged balloon near the refill, and now we will observe what happened in these three experiments. So in the observation we will see that the charged balloon refill the charged balloon. So in the first picture, when we inflate two balloons, hang them such a way that they do not touch each other, and rub the both balloons with a woolen cloth and release them. As a result of this experiment, the two balloons both are get charged, and as a result of it, our charged balloon repel the charged balloon. So the two balloons are repelled to each other because two balloons are charged both. And in the second experiment, what we will observe, if we done the experiment, that a charged refill the charged refill, as like a charged balloon refill a charged balloon. So as like the charged balloon, a charged balloon refill a charged balloon, a charged refill is also refill the charged refill too. But in the third experiment, when the charged balloon it is come to close in a charged refill, we will observe that a charged balloon attracted by a charged refill. These are the basic observation if we done the three experiments in practically, and after the observation we come to a conclusion that we can conclude there are two kinds of charges. And how it is possible, let me explain that. After the observation, a question is come on our mind, that does it indicate that the charge on the balloons is of a different kind from the charge on the refill? As because the charged balloon, when close to the charged refill, they are attracted. But a charged balloon is refill a charged balloon, and a charged refill is refill a charged refill. But when a charged balloon is close together a charged refill, it is attracted to each other. So a question has come on our mind, that does it indicate that the charge on the balloon is of a different kind from the charge on the refill? So the charge are not the same in the balloon and the refill. So can we say then that there are two kinds of charges? And can we also say that the charges of the same kind repel each other, while charges of different kind attract each other? Yes, we can say that there are two different kinds of charge, and the balloons and the refills charge are not the same. They have different kind of charge, and when when the charges of the same kind close together, they repel each other, and when the charges of different kind are close together, they attract each other. And the electrical charges that generated by rubbing are static and they do not move by themselves, but when charges move they constitute an electric current, and this is basically called as electric charges, and electric charges is nothing but a motion of charges. So what I am saying in the slide that the three experiments are done separately and we will observe the result of the experiment. Then after the observation and doing the experiment we come to a conclusion that there are two kinds of charges. One charge is called positive charge and one charge is called negative charge, and when the same kind of charges close together they repel each other, and when the different kind of charges close together they are attracted by each other. So these are the discussion basically in this slide. Now come to the next slide, that transfer of charge. We have seen that the charge created by rubbing, the types of charges, there's two kinds of charges are present there, and their interaction between them, that the some kind of charges repel each other and the different kind of charges attracted each other. And now come to the point that transfer of charges, how to transfer the charges to one matter to another matter. To discuss the transfer of charges, one basic thing is I have to introduce to you that the basic atomic structure. It is a recall part that you know the basic atomic structure. What is the basic atomic structure? If you just recall, you will understand that an atom is made up of electrons, protons and neutrons. An electron carries a negative charge, proton carries a positive charge, and there is no charge on a neutron. So in an electrically neutral atom the number of electron is equal to the number of proton, as because the electrically charged atom can be in neutral state, and these the equal numbers of negative and positive charges balances each other, and that's why I have said that the most of the matters remain in electrically neutral state because of this reason. So in a basic atomic structure, an atom is made up with electrons, protons and neutrons. Electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged particles, and neutron is neutral. There is no charge on a neutral. So in an electrically neutral atom, what should be happen, that the electron is equal number to the protons, and only if the electron is equal number to the proton of electrically in the atom, then the atom is in neutral state, and we call this atom in an electrically neutral state because the negative and positive charges balance each other in the atom. So now come to the point, transfer of charge. So when certain objects are rubbed against another object, what will happen, that the electrons may get transferred from one object to another. So what I am saying, that when a certain objects are rubbed against another object, electrons may get transferred from one object to another object. So the electrons may get transferred from one object to another. That means the negative charge may get transferred from one object to another. And if an object loses some electron, then the other side, if an object loses some negative charge, it is left with the increase the sparse number of protons. The protons number will be high and the electrons number will be small if the object loses electrons. As rather said that the object loses the negative charge and there are the high level of the positive charge, and thus the object becomes positively charged. As I am saying that if the number of the proton will be high rather than than the electrons, the object becomes positively charged, and if an object gains electron, it now has pulse number of electrons. So if an object instead of losing electrons, if it gains electrons, it will be negative, and the number of electrons will be high, and this will be becomes negatively charged. And the transfer of charge is responsible for static electricity in various objects. And in the last class we have seen that due to the static electricity, the lightning is happening. So static electricity is the main reasons of lightning. It should be keep in our mind that we have covered these topics in the previous session. So what I am saying that charge can be transferred from one object to another, and if a object loses electron, then the object positively becomes positively charged, and if the object loses gaining electron, then the object becomes negatively charged, and that is the transfer of charges. The charges can be transferred from one object to another. And now come to the point that electroscope. What is electroscope? There are a picture of electroscope, and what it will explain. Let me say that the electroscope is a simple device which is used to test the presence of charge in an object. So it can determine an object is charged or non-charged. So electroscope is a simple device which is used to test the presence of charge in an object. And in the instrument or in the device, gold and silver are among the best conductors are used, as gold and silver are used because gold and silver are among the best conductors of electric current, and hence leaf of these metals are used in electroscope. There are in the picture you have seen that there are two positions that are colored as gold, and this is called the gold leaves, and gold and silver are basically used in huge amount of electroscope, because gold and silver are among the best conductors of electric current, and hence these metals are used in electroscope. So what basically happen in the electroscope, that when the brass of this device, of the electroscope, is touched with a charged object, electric charge gets transferred to the gold leaf through the rod to the object, and this result in the gold leaves moving away from each other, and this happens because both the leaves have similar charge. What I am saying, that when the brass beads of the electroscope is touched with a charged object, electric charge gets transferred to the gold leaf through the rod from the charged object that is touched to the brass beads of the electroscope, and as a result what happens that the gold leaves moving away from each other, as because both the leaves have similar charges. And we have studied that some slides before, that the similar kind of charges are repel each other when they come to close. So as because if we come to an charged object, to an electroscope, to the brush of the electroscope, the electric charge gets transferred to the gold leaf through the rod from the charged object, and as a result of this, the gold leaves moving away from each other, as because they become charged in same charging, and as because of same charge, similar charges, they repel each other. And we know that if the similar kind of charges close together, they repel each other instead of attracting. So it is basically the working principle of electroscope, how it is determined object is charged or not. And the the transfer of charge from one object to another object is called basically charging. And in case of the electroscope, the gold leaves charge is transferred through the brush rods, and hence it can be said that charging can happen through metals also. So it is basically the transfer of charging, and charge can be transferred through the metals too from the electroscope. We have now know the point. And but another point is that if we understand the electroscope charging working principle, one point is also very much important, that electrical discharge. And what is electrical discharge? Then if we consider the electroscope activity, the gold leaves resume their normal position after some time. So due to the similar charges, gaining similar charges, gold leaves at first repel each other, but sometimes later the gold leaves resume their normal position, and this happens because they lost their charges. And if they lost their charge, that there are no similar kind of charge, and no question of the repelled each other. So they loss of their charges, and this process is called basically the electrical discharge. As they lost their charges after some times later, they resume their normal position, and the loss of because of the loss of charges, this process is called electrical discharge. And the gold leaf should also be discharged when someone touches the brush rod with the bare hands, and in that case what happens, the charge is transferred to the earth through the human body, and this process is nothing but the process is called, that is earthing. So earthing is a process, that the process of transfer of charge to the earth is called earthing. Now come to some important notes about today's session. First of all, that earthing is provided in the building to protect us from electrical shocks. So the earthing, the process of transfer of charge to the earth is called earthing. So to transfer the charge to the earth, earthing is provided in the building, and it can protect us from the electrical shocks. And what another most important thing of today's session is that we have concluded that there are two kinds of charges. One is called positive and one is called negative, and the electrical charges produced by rubbing are called static charge, and when the charge move, they constitute an electric current, and that is basically electric charges. And lastly, what we will discuss under today's session, that an electroscope is a device that may be used to detect whether a body is charged or not. And one of the most important notes is that the process of transfer of charge from a charged object to earth is called earthing, and earthing is provided in the building to protect us from electrical shocks. So this is basically in today's session, charges. What are charges? Charging can be generated by rubbing, the transfer of charges, the types of charges and their interaction in the basis of some practical experiment, and lastly there's some important notes that we have to keep in our mind. And lastly, thank you, and end of the today's session.